After a nice evening, relaxing by the river around the campfire and a lovely meal, we woken this morning to some quite heavy rain. We're going to make an attempt to see if we can ride through some of these landslides with a little bit of a help from a chainsaw and some physical labour. We got through the first couple, ultimately hit some that were just too big. We're off. Hopefully we'll be able to get through and back on our route today. As you can see from the bikes parked here on the left, we weren't the only group that was stranded between mudslides over the last couple of days. After a bit of waiting around and organising for a bulldozer to come through and clear the road again, we're through and we're back on our route and now looking at ways to make up time. So even though we've got through the mudslides that trapped us, even in this early bit of the road afterwards, we can see that the impact's been pretty widespread. Check out this car up in front. Looks like it found a pothole that was too big. It's so good to be back on the bike again, and the weather's fine and we're making some headway. Really good to be back on the road. Landslip 30 plus since we left today. They're everywhere. Still can't get over the fact that we're riding through so many eucalypts at the moment. Feels a little bit like home. Not really. Another landslide. Probably going to get sick and tired of noting these before this trip's over. I'm not sure what's going on over on the left-hand side of the river there, but it's a pretty large scale, whatever's happening. Some blokes walking home from a day working on the side of the road. Ouch. A little bit of a reminder that driving in India can bite you back sometimes. Everybody's out and about for the night markets. It's nice to see a little bit of action after our last quiet few days. Not sure I'd like to stay in that hotel or any of those buildings off the side there after some of the landslides I've seen recently. Some sort of police border check, checking our documents and making sure we've got permission to be in this area. Another mudslide. Wow, this is pretty spectacular. Hope it doesn't fall on us. Holding our breath. Feeling like a kid back in the parents' car when we went through tunnels back in the day. Watch out, cows, don't want the truck running you over. And to the big one with the horns up there, I'm very friendly, just in case you were wondering. I don't think our mate in the red car's planning on slowing down anytime soon for the road workers. Another landslide, just in case you missed it. Look at the size of some of these rocks. You want them falling on you in a hurry. Scenery off to the left is absolutely spectacular. We rode into the dusk early night this afternoon, and the GoPro doesn't really record well in low light, so I've skipped that filming, but this is a brief look at my motel room. Very flat. We headed off fairly early this morning because we're trying to catch up for the days that we were stranded by the mudslide, and today looks like being a fairly long run. What is it with cows and sleeping on bridges? Got to admit though, they've definitely got a room with a view. It's a glorious morning. It's good to get some miles under the belt, and the scenery is spectacular, and the road surface hasn't been so bad for this part of the trip at all, and hitting a reasonably steady pace, and the clouds and the tops of the mountains, just got to make sure and keep the concentration on the road and don't get too distracted. Another bit of a landslip. Again, the boulders are getting bigger. Check out this bridge. I bet you that surface will be a bit slippery with a bit of water and mud on it. Wow, that's spectacular. Look at that view down the valley. I'm not sure what that is over on the right hand side, but I presume it's something to do with electricity generation. Pretty impressive. Hope it can hold up that side of the hill. Gotta love the horn on this truck. Yeah, it looks like a little bit of tunnel buildings going on the right hand side here, or maybe it's mining, I'm not really sure. Watch out, puppy! Don't want to run you over. Don't mind me, Mr. Truck. Just a reminder of the one main Indian driving rule: biggest wins. Well, this has been a nice section of twisty road. Michael's out in front with the communication system, and Lucy, who's following behind him, is getting a heads up as to whether there's any traffic coming our way. It's been a bit handy on some of those tighter corners. Check out the blue sky, not a cloud in sight at the moment, and the contrast with the landscape around it is amazing. We've been riding past the convoy of army trucks for quite some time now. Seems like the whole Indian Army's maybe on the move. There are some places along here you feel like maybe you better duck a little bit. Got plenty of clearance, obviously, but it does feel that way sometimes. Time to check out what Phil and Sander are up to. These two are legends doing a tour this trip. They started out on a Vandals Classic, but that broke down and they've swapped over to a Himalayan. I think Phil and Sander are enjoying that a lot better. Time for a bit of lunch. The food was delicious and the scenery was spectacular. And Staf bought a new motor Guzzi back in Australia. The landscape's changing again now and we're seeing less greenery at the moment. It's a lot drier and a bit dustier, and the soil on the side of the road looks a bit more like packed mud and less like rock.
So currently we're stopped at one of the border checkpoints. We're very close to the border with China, so we've been told that we will stop quite regularly and have our permits to be in the area checked over before we're allowed to progress.
The colours through here are amazing. Following the other David that's on this ride, he's riding well for a guy who bunged up his knee a few days ago. Watch out, little donkey. Don't want to bump off you. The group stopped for a quick break to make sure that everybody was still riding well. So I rode past them and took the opportunity to get a bit of a group shot. Trying hard to become a slightly better and more creative YouTube video. Now, I've said it before, check out that sky and check out the landscape. you see the warning sign off to the left? The Malling-Nulla shooting stone zone. Apparently we have to drive carefully. Will do. A little bit of a water crossing. Nice to get a bit of variety in the day. Don't look down. Don't look down. Look at the road ahead, all those corners and what looks like nearly new tar. Time to give the little Himalaya test out for its cornering capabilities. Should have fun on the Kawasaki here. All along the road they've got these strange little signposts encouraging us to ride safe. Oops, rocks, road debris. This looks to be a little bit of a worry, the dust on the stuff on the road. Looks like there's been a bit of a rockfall. We might take a cue from what these guys in the truck do, but either way I think we'll be getting through this spot fairly quickly when we start. Well, after a quick pause they decided to skedaddle through there, so I think we'll be following them. Where we're stopped now is probably not all that safe. Here we go. Here's hoping no rocks fall on my head. Not sure we should be stopping here, but I can hear the horn. They're encouraging us to keep on going. Don't say that I've lost. The sun is gradually getting lower and falling behind the mountains, and that's casting a sort of an eerie glow through this valley. And off to the left there's that sort of green verdant section. It's really quite picturesque and a little bit haunting. Seems to me the road's gradually getting narrower and narrower too. As I said earlier, we're making up time today, and that means riding in the dark. That's tough.
वो हम लोग वापस आने वाले थे वहाँ से 2 जगह से नीचे धस गया खत्म हो गया उसको बनने में लगना कम से कम 2 दिन
Getting ready to head towards Sisu. A gorgeous day in the valley. And you might not be able to see it on the GoPro, but right on the top of a hill you can see some snow.
Our first mud puddle for a while. Looks like Phil and Sandra are getting through it okay, so there shouldn't be any dramas. I wonder what the significance of this area off to the left is. We've just ridden into a section of dirt road that's got this kind of fine white powdery surface on it, and it's pretty dusty. It can be pretty slippery at places. It's a bit like talcum powder, the consistency. New experience for us all. We're gradually gaining altitude again, and it's clouding over a little bit and it's a bit chilly. I think we're going to be stopping at a sort of a temple or a lookout up here on our right in a second. See the snow up ahead? I've got to say, I'm enjoying riding this little Himalayan on the dirt roads. It's so much lighter than the V-Strom, and that 21-inch front wheel's making a difference, and yeah, got plenty of length in the legs when I'm sitting down on the seat, not feeling like I'm on my tiptoes, so it's all a bit of fun really. Who's this disheveled, dusty old bloke? waving at the camera. Reckon you could tidy yourself up a bit. Is that a sheep or a small bear on the left there? Pretty sure it was a sheep. Hope so. Maybe it was a dog. Everywhere we go, we find some friendly dogs wanting a pat. We're on our way down to see a place called Moon Lake, which holds a pretty significant place in Indian culture. And the road to Moon Lake looks pretty interesting in and of itself. What a stunning landscape. You can kind of understand how the religion has kind of developed in this area, with the natural landscape being so imposing. Makes you feel really quite insignificant. At the same time, you can't help but be amazed at the fact that you're here at all, and that you're able to travel to places like that. We really are quite fortunate. And whilst I'm blathering on about the majestic scenery, take note of the fact that we're riding through possibly what's been the longest water crossing so far. What's happened? Has the river become a road, or has the road become a river? Yikes, this is getting a bit narrow, just saying. Well, this looks like a little bit more of a challenging water crossing. Just trying to keep the power on. Ah, bloody hell, hit a rock. It's knocked the front wheel off. Don't want to go over the edge there. Alright, all good. On our way. Just a brief pause on the walk from the car park up towards the hill that looks over Moon Lake. Got to say, I'm struggling a bit here. It's the first time I've walked at altitude and really not coping all that well. Lucky the scenery's so beautiful. Company's not bad either. Tim's back's giving him a bit of curry, so he's trying to stretch it out. Well, we're leaving Moon Lake now, and we're riding through this kind of river flats, and it kind of reminds me a bit of what I imagine is part of Dakar's, like, you know, pick our own route. It doesn't seem to be a clearly defined road anywhere, and we've already hit one place where the road got blocked off and we had to do a turnaround and find another route. All very interesting and a bit of fun. Time to show off some of my developing dirt bike skills by overtaking some of my fellow travellers. Just a reminder that we've got some people going 2 up on this trip, and I thought I'd just include a bit of a perspective from Phil and Sandra over part of this road that we're going on at the moment to show you the difference between 1 up and 2 up. Amazing. Back on the tar, heading in towards Sisu. It's a nice change to be back on the tar again. That bit of gravel road was pretty demanding, but when you have a bit of time to reflect upon it, it was also a lot of fun, and the landscape was definitely worth seeing. It's been a hard couple of days, but when you look at the clouds on the mountains as I'm riding along here, again, you just got to feel grateful for the opportunity to be here.